Hello, and welcome to Weekly World Recap, the podcast that brings you fascinating, uplifting, and sometimes just plain weird stories from around the globe. I'm James, and this week we've got musical moments, science wonders, cultural celebrations, a croissant contest, a cat with bling, and a festival you probably wish you were at. Let's dive in. Let's kick things off with the entertainment world because this week was packed with music, creativity, and global excitement. Benson Boone's American Heart Tour. Pop sensation Benson Boone stunned fans when his 29-stop American Heart Tour sold out in just 9 seconds. That's faster than some people refresh their Instagram feed. The tour launches just before the release of his much-anticipated album in June. Fans are calling it the next big emotional pop anthem collection.
Post Malone's Tailgate Party Tour. Post Malone brought something entirely new to the concert experience. An immersive travel and tailgate event with food trucks, fan games, and mini parties before the show even starts. Think Coachella vibes, in a parking lot. He's reinventing pre-show culture. Lady Gaga's Mayhem Ball. Gaga announced a limited, small-venue tour called the Mayhem Ball with a stripped-down stage design, jazz-infused remixes, and even surprise poetry readings. Yes, Gaga's reading poetry between sets. Fans are calling it weird, beautiful, and kind of perfect. Blackpink's Jennie Goes Solo. Jennie's solo album Ruby smashed pre-order records with 450,000 copies even before release. The aesthetic is inspired by classic European fashion and late 90s R&B. Critics say it's Jennie at her most confident and most experimental. Fire Aid benefit concert. And if that wasn't enough, Fire Aid, a wildfire relief concert in LA, united top names like Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, and even featured a surprise reunion performance by the Eagles. Beyoncé donated $1 million of her own. If you missed it, don't worry, the digital replays go live next week.
Free-floating atoms caught on camera. In what sounds like science fiction, researchers at a lab in Sweden managed to photograph single atoms floating freely in space, not stuck in a solid, not trapped in a box, just vibing. This discovery opens doors for improving quantum computers, where atomic freedom equals better processing. Editing human memory? Another wild study this week. Scientists are learning how to control how strong or weak a memory is. Imagine being able to dial down an embarrassing moment or make a loved one's face easier to remember. It's early days, but trials in lab animals show real promise. Ethics debates are already heating up.
And just for fun, a Tokyo robotics startup has released a personal assistant that can tell jokes tailored to your sense of humor. It learns which jokes make you laugh and adjusts over time. So basically, it's like having a stand-up comedian in your kitchen. Maybe not necessary, but who wouldn't want that? European Museum Night. Saturday night across Europe was lit literally as museums opened their doors for the European Night of Museums. In cities like Rome, Warsaw, and Lyon, crowds wandered through art galleries under the moonlight. Lyon offered live jazz performances in sculpture gardens and workshops where kids made clay statues until midnight. It's part party, part culture, all magic. Beatty Signs Comic Festival. Just outside Lyon, comic book lovers gathered for the Beatty Signs Festival. Highlights included a cosplay parade, panels with graphic novelists from South Korea and Belgium, and even a session where kids helped draw a giant community mural. The star guest? French-Iranian artist Marjane Satrapi, creator of Persepolis.
Literature Live in Lyon. Also in Lyon, this week kicked off the Literature Live Festival, which runs through May 25th. This year's theme is Borders and Bridges, featuring authors from Syria, Chile, and Canada. Panels include talks about censorship, language, and migration, and nightly readings under candlelight. Definitely a cozy, thoughtful vibe. Tofu, the cat with a gold tooth. Okay, brace yourself for the week's most viral story. A Colorado cat named Tofu had a broken thong. The vet had two choices: remove it or give it a gold replacement. Tofu now struts around the house like a feline James Bond villain. His TikTok. Over 2.2 million views in 5 days. Meow. AI detects cheating spouse. In Greece, a woman used a new AI personal assistant app to track behavior patterns in her husband, and it flagged suspicious changes. After digging deeper, she discovered he was cheating. The app wasn't even designed for that, but here we are. The couple filed for divorce, and the app's creator is reportedly updating its ethical guidelines.
Bonus weirdness. The bee cough monitor. British researchers released a bee health monitoring system that detects buzzing frequency changes. Why? Because sick bees buzz differently. The goal is to stop colony collapse by diagnosing bees earlier. So yes, bee medicine now includes sound analysis. World Croissant Cup. In Paris this week, 16 bakers from around the world competed in the World Croissant Cup. The winner? Yuki Nakamura of Japan, whose almond croissant was called a crispy, buttery dream. Judging included flavor, flake count, and rise symmetry. TikTok is now full of croissant folding tutorials. Ice cream AI. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, an ice cream shop unveiled a new flavor every day created by AI. This week's hit, Mango Chai Latte Swirl. Reactions were mixed, incredible, or kinda confusing, depending on who you ask.
Record-breaking coral bloom discovered in the Maldives. This week, marine biologists made a stunning announcement: the discovery of what might be the largest coral bloom ever recorded in the Indian Ocean. Located near the Maldives, this sprawling reef system covers over 30 square kilometers and, surprisingly, appears to be thriving despite global warming and rising ocean acidity. What's fascinating is that the coral species found in this bloom exhibit strong resilience against bleaching, a phenomenon caused by warmer waters. Researchers are now studying this ecosystem to understand whether genetics, ocean currents, or microbial life are contributing to its survival. If successful, these findings could offer hope for reef restoration efforts across the world, especially in severely affected areas like the Great Barrier Reef and the Caribbean. Greener cities. Vertical forest skyscrapers expand to Southeast Asia. The concept of vertical forests, skyscrapers designed with trees, shrubs, and plant-covered balconies continues to take root globally. This week, Singapore and Kuala Lumpur broke ground on two of the largest green tower projects in the world. These buildings will include over 50,000 plants and trees, reducing urban heat, filtering air, and providing habitats for birds and insects. Urban planners are now seeing this as more than a green gimmick. It's becoming a vital part of sustainable architecture.
Global push for rewilding cities. From Paris to Seoul, a quiet green revolution is underway. Cities are beginning to remove concrete spaces like unused parking lots or abandoned industrial sites and returning them to nature. Known as rewilding, this movement aims to bring native flora and fauna back into urban settings. In Paris, an old railway track is being transformed into a wild green corridor. In Seoul, a portion of a major highway has been replaced with a natural stream surrounded by walking paths and trees. These efforts improve mental health, reduce city temperatures, and boost biodiversity, all while attracting ecotourists. Denmark's energy island begins construction, a milestone in renewable energy. Denmark has started construction on the world's first artificial energy island. Located in the North Sea, this island will act as a hub for hundreds of wind turbines, eventually powering over 10 million homes across northern Europe. More than just a power station, the island will feature maintenance facilities, battery storage, and even lodging for wind farm technicians. Experts call it a blueprint for the future of clean energy, decentralized, collaborative, and carbon neutral. Pay What You Want supermarket opens in Berlin. Imagine walking into a store, filling your basket, and paying whatever you feel is fair or whatever you can afford. That's now reality in Berlin, where a Pay What You Want supermarket called Wertfrei, without value, opened its doors this week. Stocked with surplus food from local distributors, WorkFry aims to tackle food waste and income inequality at the same time. Shoppers drop a voluntary payment in a box or scan a QR code to contribute digitally. The founders say it's not just about food, it's about trust and dignity. So far, the community response has been overwhelming, with some people even overpaying to support others. Could this model spread elsewhere? Similar experiments are already planned in Madrid, Amsterdam, and Montreal.
Apple unveils Vision Book, a glimpse into the future of devices. Apple stole tech headlines this week with the surprise unveiling of the Vision Book, a revolutionary hybrid between a laptop and tablet. With a fully foldable OLED screen, the Vision Book adapts from a traditional clamshell laptop to a touchscreen sketchpad in seconds. It also introduces two major features: iNav, which lets users scroll, highlight, or open apps using only eye movement; Context AI, which reorganizes your home screen based on time of day and your habits, like opening your notes and calendar when you usually work. Analysts are calling it Apple's most innovative hardware since the iPhone. But with a rumored starting price of $2,800, it may remain a luxury item, at least for now. Remote work fuels growth in small towns. A new report from Global Data shows that the shift to remote work is reshaping housing markets worldwide. Cities like Lisbon, Kyoto, and Quebec City are seeing younger professionals leaving expensive capitals for calmer towns, often bringing high salaries and startup ideas with them. This migration is having ripple effects. Small towns are investing in co-working spaces, fiber optic internet, and international schools. Property prices in some regions have jumped by 15 to 25% in just 1 year. Local businesses from cafes to art galleries are booming with this new, educated clientele. Governments are starting to respond. Portugal is offering digital nomad visas, while Japan is giving tax incentives for people moving to rural towns. This could be the beginning of a more decentralized economic model and a revitalization of towns once in decline. That wraps up your weekly world recap for May 12th to 18, 2025. No war, no drama, just fascinating, joyful, and occasionally bizarre stories from every corner of the planet. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to hit subscribe, share with your curious friends, and tune in next week for more. Until then, I'm James. Stay curious and stay kind.